Imagine a people who have not only endured the harrowing trials of widespread racism, expulsion, and more than one genocide, but who have also triumphed against the odds to secure a place they could call home, only to find themselves confronted with the haunting specter of yet another genocide. Our journey takes us back to the early 1900s, the reign of the Ottoman Empire. This rule was not without its challenges, setting the stage for the first sparks of conflict. In the heart of Europe, a movement was stirring. The Zionist movement, driven by European Jews' quest for a homeland, began to gain momentum. Their yearning for a place to call their own was fueled by a history of persecution, discrimination, displacement, and extermination. The late 19th century bore witness to horrific pogroms and sweeping anti-Semitic legislation, adding to the desperate need for sanctuary. One event, the 1903 Kishinev pogrom, resulted in 49 deaths and hundreds of women assaulted, drawing global attention. The plight of the Jews was thrust into the global spotlight. As the Zionist movement gained strength, the concept of a Jewish homeland started forming. However, this land was under Ottoman control and was home to Arab communities. This overlapping claim set the stage for a clash. In the aftermath of World War I, the Ottoman Empire collapsed, and the British Mandate took control, adding a new dimension to the conflict. The Balfour Declaration, expressing British support for a Jewish homeland in Palestine, complicated the situation further. The seeds of conflict had been sown, and the world stage was set for a clash. The World War had ended, but for the Jews and Arabs of Palestine, a new struggle had just begun. Post-First World War, the Ottoman Empire collapsed, opening the door to new conflicts. The British established a mandate over Palestine, a move backed by the League of Nations. Their rule was complex, creating unrest. The Balfour Declaration of 1917, written by British Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour, declared Britain's support for a Jewish homeland in Palestine. This boosted the Zionist movement, which had been advocating for a Jewish homeland. But Jewish immigration to Palestine sparked tension with the Arab population. Jews were seen as intruders, despite their historical roots in the region. Jewish militias formed to defend against the local Arabs and British rulers, intensifying conflict. The Holocaust, a gruesome event, resulted in the deaths of 6 million Jews. The world was shocked, and sympathy for the Jewish people grew. This tragedy invigorated international support for a Jewish state, fueling the Zionist cause. The stage was set for the birth of a nation. The past struggles were about to birth a new chapter in Jewish history, one filled with hope, but also conflict. The stage was set and the curtains were about to rise on one of the most contentious political dramas of the 20th century. In 1947, the United Nations proposes a plan that would change the Middle East forever. In the wake of World War II, sympathy for Jews was high and the question of Palestine loomed large. The UN suggested a partition dividing British Palestine into an Arab state and a Jewish state, with Jerusalem under international control due to significant religious sites. The Jewish Agency for Palestine saw this as a chance to legitimize their quest for a homeland and accepted the plan. In contrast, Arab states rejected the idea, opposing Jewish statehood on Arab land. This set the stage for conflict. In 1948, the of Israel was announced and the Arab-Israeli War began. Despite being outnumbered, Israel defended and expanded its territory, viewing this as crucial for survival. The battle revealed that the borders given to them were indefensible and more land would ensure their existence. A new nation was born, but at a cost. The creation of Israel marked a pivotal moment, yet it sparked a conflict that would mold the Middle East's future. The birth of Israel is a tale of triumph and tragedy, of a dream realized and a nightmare to come. In the aftermath of war, new lines were drawn and old wounds deepened. The 1948 Arab-Israeli War ended, but the effects lingered on. In 1967, the Six-Day War erupted, pitting Israel against Egypt, Jordan, Iraq, and Syria. Israel seized control of territories, including the Gaza Strip, Sinai Peninsula, West Bank, East Jerusalem, and the Golan Heights. This victory expanded Israel's territory and shifted the regional power balance, but it also fueled the ongoing conflict with its Arab neighbors. The Six-Day War demonstrated Israel's will to secure its existence and protect its people. It also brought to fore the deepening divide between Israel and its Arab counterparts. The subsequent 1978 Camp David Accords offered a glimmer of hope. Brokered by U.S. President Jimmy Carter, these peace agreements witnessed Israel's willingness to compromise for peace by agreeing to withdraw from the Sinai Peninsula. Accords marked a significant turning point as Egypt became the first Arab nation to officially recognize Israel. These events, the Six-Day War and the Camp David Accords, left deep impressions on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, shaping the political landscape, influencing international diplomacy, and touching countless lives. The war had ended, but the echoes of battle continued to reverberate. As we explore this intricate history, we realize that each event and decision is a piece of a much larger, evolving narrative. The ink on peace accords was barely dry when new struggles emerged. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict, a tale of turbulence, saw the birth of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, or PLO, in 1964. The PLO aimed to eradicate the Israeli state and establish a Palestinian one via armed conflict, reflecting the region's deep-seated ideology. This formidable force led to Israel's 1982 invasion into Lebanon, intending to expel the PLO, escalating the conflict significantly. The PLO continued to agitate the Israeli public, perpetuating the enduring conflict that was not only about land or religion, but identity, self-determination, and the pursuit of peace in an adversity-stricken region. This struggle continues to be a testament to human resilience. The region was a tinderbox just waiting for a spark. The sparks ignited a fire that continues to burn to this day. In the late 20th century, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict escalated with two major uprisings termed the Intifadas. The first one, initiated in 1987, saw Palestinians across the West Bank and Gaza protesting against Israeli occupation through civil disobedience, riots, and boycotts. The second, known as the Al-Aqsa Intifada, erupted in 2000, prompted by the failure of peace talks. This uprising was marked by severe violence, resulting in thousands of casualties on both sides. Amid these turmoils, in 1993, the Oslo Accords were signed by the leaders of Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization, stirring a flicker of hope for peace. These accords aimed to pave a path for future negotiations, acknowledging mutual recognition and establishing the Palestinian Authority to govern parts of West Bank and Gaza Strip. However, they were fraught with difficulties. The collapse of the Camp David summit in 2000, along with the Second Intifada, marked a critical juncture, leaving the peace process in ruins and trust between the two sides deeply eroded. The after-effects of the Intifadas and the Oslo Accords continue to influence the Israeli-Palestinian conflict even today. The road to peace was littered with obstacles. Even today, the legacy of the Intifadas and the Accords continue to shape the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The fire that was sparked more than 3 decades ago still burns, a testament to the deep-seated issues at the heart of this enduring struggle. As the 21st century dawned, a shift was underway in Israeli politics. The Second Intifada and the failure of the Oslo Accords had a profound effect on Israel's political scene. As the public faced escalating violence, disillusionment with the peace process grew. The prospect of a two-state solution began to fade, pushing Israeli politics towards the right. Right-wing parties, particularly Likud, gained traction, promoting a firm stance against Palestinian aggression and advocating caution in peace negotiations. A notable figure in this shift was Ariel Sharon, a former military general turned politician who became prime minister in 2001. His hardline policies, including the construction of a security barrier between Israel and the West Bank, faced international criticism but garnered local support. In a surprising twist, Sharon left Likud in 2005 to form Kadima, a centrist party aiming to disengage from the Gaza Strip, an action executed later that year. The following years saw right-wing dominance, with leaders like Benjamin Netanyahu becoming synonymous with Israeli politics. These leaders managed the conflict with a firm hand, often prioritizing citizens' security over peace negotiations. However, a significant section of the population remained committed to the peace process and a two-state solution, demonstrating that despite the political shift, dialogue around peace was not silenced. The future of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. The path to peace is a challenging one. This shift in Israeli politics highlights the intricacies of this enduring conflict and the challenges in seeking a peaceful resolution. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a complex one with deep historical roots. We've looked at its origins in the Ottoman era, the rise of Zionism, the plight of Jews in Europe, and their quest for a homeland. We've examined fallout of World War I, the Balfour Declaration, and conflicts over Jewish immigration. We've studied the Holocaust's impact and Israel's birth in 1947, followed by the Arab-Israeli War. The term Zionist is a calling card to freedom for a people oppressed by racism and genocide for centuries. And the very same group of people attempting the eradication of the Israeli state claims Zionism constitutes oppression. As we conclude this video, we hope it has offered you a thought-provoking glimpse into a unique perspective. Our channel is dedicated to shedding light on different sides of every story. And while today's content presented a one-sided view, we encourage you to explore various angles and engage in critical thinking. Remember, in understanding different perspectives, we find the common threads that unite us. Stay curious, stay open-minded, and keep watching for more intriguing insights on our channel.